Hello and welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. So I'm going to be continuing with a new timed event, Perilous Expedition. It says, an adventurer from Liyue seems to have encountered some trouble while studying the geography and hydrology of Sumeru for the Adventurers Guild. Help him explore the dangerous areas and complete the map. So let's go to Quest and tell it to navigate. And we just got to teleport right over here. Geez, I'll have to trouble Lan again. But it's not like I have a choice. There's simply too much work, and I'm only one person. How am I supposed to finish? I have no choice but to delay the mapping submission again. If this goes on, my living expenses here in Sumeru will exceed the deposit for the commission. But there's nothing more terrifying than Lan's rage. Huh? What's an adventurer from Liyue doing over here? Hey, you, from the Adventurers Guild. Huh? What's wrong? Am I not allowed to rest by the river here? No, Paimon's just curious. An adventurer from Liyue and Sumeru, I don't know why they're curious. I mean, come on, he's an adventurer. Of course he's gonna explore. Anyways, it's really rare. And you even looked super anxious, so we came over to ask if we could help. I see. I'm Peiju. I don't know how to say that. And you are? Paimon is Paimon, and this is Aether. So, Peiju, I think that might be a more accurate way of saying it. What are you doing here in Sumeru? Paimon knows. Did you get lost? Ha 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 ha. So, the cute little one is Paimon. Ha 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 ha. Lost. What's so funny? It's barely funny. 3 out of 5, really. Under most circumstances, no, it wouldn't be funny. But asking a cartographer if he's lost is quite amusing. Cartographer? Yes, we are responsible for surveying the landscape and updating older maps. It's one of the Adventure Guild's duties. I am one such cartographer, but I'm just an apprentice. I've completed some rough sketches, but there are tons of mistakes. I need to get a shaded valley or tunnel to carry out a detailed survey. This is just killing me. The terrain here in Sumeru is so complex, and there are so many roads and caves too. Sometimes I wonder if the entire mountain is hollow. Progress is just way too slow. I don't know the terrain as well as the locals do. Then why don't you get a local adventurer to do it? Good question, Paimon. It's actually a joint project between Sumeru and Liyue branches of the Adventurers Guild, and a completed map will be provided to those who trade or venture between the two. I was entrusted to the Liyue branch because the adventurer was supposed to be in charge, had cartographic experience, and her reputation is that of absolute reliability. Supposedly, she had already did something similar in Chaoying village, I think that's how you say it. All it took was a single glance for her to know all the terrain inside and out, and her maps were very precise too. But she left for some mining area. Did she go to the Chasm or Black Cliff Forge? Anyway, once we laid eyes on her map, we all felt ashamed of our own skills. The adventurers who used her map praised it to the skies. I can't compete with that. I may have drawn a map, but there are too many omissions, and surveying everything again will take way too long. I'm a stranger in a strange land. I may have the support of Sumeru's Adventure Guild, but I'm not sufficient enough. If this goes on much longer, the deposit I received won't be able to cover my travel expenses. Ah, that sounds awful. We don't really know much about cartography, though, but maybe Paimon can help mark where you can find delicious food on your map instead? Of course you would know all about that, wouldn't you, Paimon? And is that a, yeah, that's a domain right there. Haha, that's a great idea. A map showing all the best local cuisine would definitely be popular. But, well, my remaining work doesn't really require drawing the map. What's left is a final survey to verify the map's accuracy. There are a few dangerous locations surrounded by difficult terrain that I haven't been able to get to. Oh, if that's all. That doesn't sound very difficult. Yeah, maybe we can help. But most of these locations are really dangerous. There may even be monsters roaming around. That's exactly why you should leave it to us. Really? With your help, it feels like it'll be done in no time. I may even make the deadline. Most importantly, supplying travelers with an updated map will help prevent them from getting led somewhere deserted or dangerous by the old map. Sounds great, hehe, but we'll only help you on one condition, and that is that you have to mail us a copy of your food map once you're done making it. Ha ha ha, but of course. However, this map has to be verified before any of that can happen. It's all up to you now. Each Perilous Exploration has 4 difficulty levels. The monster levels in the first 3 difficulties will be decided by your world level. Okay. The final difficulty level has a fixed difficulty, and opponents within have fixed levels. You can select characters at the beginning of each Perilous Exploration, and buffs can be activated when the number of non-repeated characters you use reaches a specific amount within a dangerous area. Buff effects can be stacked. You can activate 1 buff at max in the first round of combat, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. Oh, there are a few places to verify over here too. All of them are hidden paths that can't be seen just by looking at the shape of the mountains. Well, Aether, is everything going smoothly? I'd say it's going well. That's such a relief, but do let me know if you encounter any trouble. I'll mark it on the map. Okay then, so let's go ahead and activate this. And just as I thought, there are some that are still locked. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so I'll do these 2, obviously, and then I'll worry about these in a different video. But, Valley of Divergence. When some opponent's HP drops below 15%, a warning signal will appear on them. 12 seconds later, these opponents will regenerate 30% HP. This effect can be triggered 1 time per opponent challenge. And now the prizes are complete the Valley of Divergence on normal difficulty or higher, hard, crisis, complete it on dire difficulty without repeating any characters. Well, that one's not going to happen, but this one can, because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to probably use my own main team for this particular challenge. So let's go ahead and start. And, yeah, Crisis is definitely the one I'm going to go with. And my normal team is what I'm going to go ahead and select for this one. Let's start. You know, it just occurred to me, I don't know what it means by non-repeated characters. I did read the tutorial, but I thought it meant something else, because this isn't what I imagined it to be like. So far, anyways. I mean, there are 3 rounds, so maybe after I defeat all 12 of these enemies, they'll give me the option to change characters.
Time to go to work.
If they do, then maybe I...
Here we go.
Well, we'll see.
Take flight.
It really depends. Now I think about it, though, Dire has a set difficulty level that isn't based on your world level, so maybe it is possible for me to do it.
Embrace the ice.
Because if the set difficulty level is lower than what I currently have, right here, you know, as far as like the characters, the enemy levels and stuff,
Yahoo!
then they should be easier to defeat.
Take flight.
I'll have to experiment, probably off camera. So that challenge was completed. That's the first round done. Will they give me... Yeah, you can adjust your party if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and start the next part, though, with my current party, or, you know, the one that I used before.
Think you can get away?
Because I don't care. As long as I manage to win, that's the main thing. Ooh, I just realized that there are going to be these types. Actually, I didn't even know that there were going to be these types before, because I didn't see an enemy list. At least none that were particularly obvious. There may have been an option to see the enemy list if you wanted to, but I didn't actually look for it.
Let's play.
Crap. Okay, you. Let's gather you over there and destroy this thing's shield, if possible. Yeah, I can get rid of this thing's shield.
Here we go.
And that thing's shield. Whoops.
My apologies.
And now, it's a straight shot to victory. There's only one more round after this.
Take flight.
Good. And on to the next one. They actually give you time to heal between rounds, which is nice. A little bit of a surprise, actually. Because that kind of knowledge could really come in handy if the difficulty gets too insane. So there are only 6 enemies for this round, and it's just slimes. There's no time limit either. Maybe I could have done the Dire. Unless the enemies are like just insanely hard to defeat. But we'll see. It would mean having to use 12 different characters, and I definitely don't have 12 party members that are ready to fight. That said, at this point in time, I really should. Just because of how long I've been playing, but I've been lazy when it comes to leveling up my characters and whatnot. Oh, it took on the Hydro element, didn't it? That's not necessarily a bad thing for me. Oh, another one. Ought to be easy enough to defeat with this. Do this as well, just to kind of stun it for a little bit. And keep it in place for as long as possible for me to be able to use Elemental Burst with her. There we go. Very nice. Wait a second. Didn't I... Oh, it says to reach 10 unique characters used in complete value divergence on crisis difficulty or higher. I didn't see that part. Oh, man. So, that's unfortunate. But hey, I got the Primo Gems. I'm not too worried about these other prizes. But, yeah, there's no point in doing anything higher than normal difficulty unless I intend to use more than those same 4 characters. So I'll just do the normal difficulty for this one. Obscured End. Boss enemies periodically unleash powerful skills dealing damage to characters hit. So let's go ahead and start this. Just do the normal difficulty this time. I don't really care about the rest of that stuff. This is going to be really fast. And start this. Okay, if they don't die, like, really fast, I'm going to be disappointed. Yeah. 3 of them have already died. That one took a little bit longer because it was kind of like a special enemy. Still easy though.
Whirling snow.
Do this.
Hold the line.
that will finish that. So round 1 is done. Easy enough.
Solidify.
Moving on to the second round. And yeah, no point in adjusting more party members. Oh, they won't allow you to immediately use the next party member. I just noticed that there is a monster list, so if I wanted to see what the monsters I'm going to be facing next are, I could have looked, but not a big deal.
I will have order.
I've already defeated 7 out of the 11 enemies. And this is the final one. There we go. And now on to the third and final one. Having to reselect your characters each time is a little bit annoying, but it's not a big deal. There are 12 enemies this time, just a bunch of hilly turtles.
Here we go.
From the looks of things. Easy enough to deal with. You know what?
This is order.
That'll not necessarily get rid of them, but at least deal a decent chunk of damage.
Embrace the ice.
Okay, and that was the last one. That was much faster. Very nice. And let's claim the prize for that too. And yeah, I don't know why that had a red check mark. So I just realized that I probably can do all of these, but I'm not going to do that necessarily on camera with these first 2 challenges. I may try to do that with these other ones. We'll see how it goes off camera for these first 2 if I decide to attempt the higher difficulty levels, because my idea is to have like one of my key party members in each different group of enemies. For example, Ayaka in one group for one round, Zhongli in another group for another round, and then Venti in another group for the third and final round. And then that way it would probably work out pretty well, but we'll see if I decide to do that or not. For now, the next thing I need to worry about is continuing the stuff with the Secret Summer Paradise. There was a side quest that I got all the way down here. Talk to Edea. Following Paimon's sage advice, chests of hidden Mora, gotta find them all. You and Paimon decide to visit Edea again, just to make sure you didn't miss any points of interest within the Veluriyam Mirage. This turns out to be perfect timing, as Edea has prepared something unique. So, let's go ahead and go over to the Veluriyam Mirage to do that. Oh. There are characters over here. I'll talk to them first.
You don't plan on taking the shell back with you, Miss Sangonomiya?
No. I think it's better if it stays here, with Edea. Watatsumi Island has something new to treasure now. And slowly but surely, people are seeing progress in pursuing their aspirations. It'll be of more use here, where it can protect this puddle domain and the dreams of all who journey through here.
There we go. Anyways, let's talk to these people now.
If we start at our village and take a slight detour, we'll be able to see Caravan Rebot and Pardis the Eye on the way to Samiro City.
Ah, very good.
Oh, planning to do any souvenir shopping along the way? You can just focus on buying the gifts. I'll carry the bags. Don't worry about the weight. I can handle it. As long as it's nothing too gigantic, I'll fit it in the bag.
Calm down. How many people do you think we'll be buying for?
Mom, Albedo, Master Jean, Razor, ooh, and Diona, and Mona, and Vishal?
What's that look for?
Nothing. So, Klee, what are you planning to buy for everyone? Sensetia-flavored candies, and big fungi caps, and loads and loads of storybooks for everyone! But I haven't decided what to get for Mom yet.
There's no rush. Let's see what they've got. And if you're still unsure, we can help you decide.
Yay! Thanks, you two!
Okay. Now we can talk to Edea. Oh, Aether and Paimon, I was wondering where you two might be taking a stroll. Aha, let me see. A melody of pure water sings and twists around you, accompanied by the energy of gracefully dancing dewdrops. You two seem to be in good spirits. What do you say? Are you interested in sampling more of the delights of the Veluriyam Mirage? Hee, even Paimon didn't imagine that Adia would start speaking more appropriately. She seems like a different person. Wait, is she a different person? Are you another creation of Adia? My body has always been my own creation. Alright, that's enough talking about bygone days. Hey, Adia seems much more lively. That's so wonderful. Why isn't Aether looking at her? Anyways, wait, what were we talking about? Sampling the delights of the Veluriyam Mirage? Traveling around can lead to lots of pleasant surprises. Maybe there's a huge trove of treasure. Exactly. Great minds think alike. We'll want to explore every nook and cranny of a mysterious place like this. Chests of hidden mora, gotta find them all. Aha. I mean, truly appreciating this place, not just wandering around it. Though, if it's a treasure you're interested in, why not give the Returning Curios project a try? It's an old tradition of newly revitalized Veluriyam Mirage. Returning Curiosity? Why hasn't Paimon heard you mention this before? Returning Curios, as the name indicates, refers to the multitude of fantastical items that have been swept into the vortex and funneled into the Veluriyam Mirage. This project goes back many a year. Originally, a veteran adventurer stopped here and was deeply moved by the scenery. Ahem. It goes without saying that my hospitality helped considerably. Anyway, he buried his most prized possession in the place that touched him most deeply. Those were his mementos, 3 pocket watches made of mora. Before leaving, the adventurer left a poetic cipher and asked me to tell it to later guests to see if they could find it. Watches made of mora sounds shiny and valuable. I don't know how valuable they are, but when I mentioned it to later guests, they were even more excited than Paimon. They swore to retrieve the treasures left by that adventurer. Unfortunately, though they searched the whole Veluriyam Mirage, they were still unable to find the treasure trove hidden by the cipher. But in the process of searching, many guests began to relax and enjoy themselves and lost all traces of nervousness that they had when they first entered the Mirage. Though they never found the adventurer's treasure, they found the idea fascinating and chose to leave behind their own gifts in the Mirage, burying their stories and entrusting me with their care. In the end, though I never expected this, it has become a sort of tradition here. This is Returning Curios, deciphering the ciphers to reveal the treasures of guests past, and then passing down our own stories. What about the watches? Were they ever found? Now that you mention it, what did happen to the watches? I only remember the stories he wanted to tell. Right. What was the cipher again? Give me a moment. Let me check to see if there are any records. Dia, didn't you promise the adventurer you need to be more reliable? Don't blame me, it was ages ago. There's been so many guests since then too. Just stories upon stories. How can anyone expect me to memorize everything? Anyway, it's not about the value of the treasure or the watch, but the stories hidden inside the treasures. Yes, that's it. As long as the stories live on, treasures and such are just the cherry on top. What do you think? Would you like to join the tradition of returning curios? After all, the special memento you leave will be retrieved by someone else in the far future. Imagine how that person will react to seeing your story and the memento you chose to leave behind here and now. It's really fun, isn't it? Paimon guesses it kinda makes sense. Leaving gifts and secret messages behind for strangers sounds interesting, and solving riddles to look for hidden treasure makes Paimon giddy. Ideally, we'll also get a ton of mora while we're at it, but after all, a gem ringed with gold is much prettier, and my romanticism needs a reasonable reimbursement. Don't sweat it. According to the rules of old, each guest can hear one cipher and find one treasure. And you're my special guest, so I'll give you 3 tries. Each cipher matches one of the treasure troves. And besides the stories told by each memento, there's plenty of more to be found as well. Good, good. That's perfect, Adia. Paimon doesn't know how impressive this mysterious adventurer was, but they couldn't be better than Paimon and Aether. Let's help continue this tradition too. We can bury a story here that belongs only to us. Then we can think about what memento and cipher to leave while we search. Then it's settled. Right, listen carefully to the first cipher. A sweet mist permeates all, gazing towards the dancing lamplight. I almost forget to breathe. In the end, memories of childhood guide me, and I take my seat beside the table in peace. Okay, returning the Curio's journey has begun. Remember the cipher, try hard to solve it, and locate the treasure. Let Paimon see. The cipher mentions sweet mist. Doesn't that refer to being hungry and wanting to eat something? Paimon thinks we'll find something if we search some restaurants. Okay, so they show you the general area that you need to search. That's nice. I was worried that I was going to have to search high and low for the location, which would have been very unfortunate. So I need to find a table. Is this it? Let's place that there. Oh, they multiplied. That's funny. Anyways. Oh, now I think about it, let's read the sign. Thanks for the apples, kind guest. My people have a traditional saying, apples hold the purest water in the land. Yeah, so they're talking about metamorphosizing into something greater. Search for where the lamplight and seats are. Yeah, right over here. These seem to be mysterious. Paimon removes the cipher, also mentions something like lantern's light and take a seat and stuff. So, is this it? Maybe it's this right over here. Maybe I have to search the lantern? Or maybe I have to wait until nighttime. Let's go ahead and do that very fast. Am I just in the wrong area? That wouldn't be too surprising, would it? Let's talk to Gretchen. Hey, thanks for stopping in. Welcome to the Veluriyam Mirage restaurant. I'm Gretchen. Guess you could say I'm the manager here. Hello, so this is a restaurant. Yes, please feel free to rest up here for a bit. As this is a lakeside restaurant, you can enjoy breathtaking views of the majestic scenery while enjoying our fine cuisine. You know, I spent quite a lot of time picking the location. You may also notice that the angles at which the tables are arranged, the height and materials of the chairs have been meticulously calibrated. This way we can provide our guests with a delightful dining experience. So, what's on the menu? I recommend our specialty, though the dining process can be somewhat complicated as it is part of our restaurant's unique dining etiquette. To begin, you must fetch some water. For washing my hands, right? Hygiene should never be neglected? No, you should fill the pot with it. Next, you'll add to your favorite ingredients. The most important part is the waiting. Close your eyes, and when the delicious aroma rising from the pot greets your nose, you'll find that our specialty is ready for your enjoyment. Huh. Isn't that just making me cook? What? How did you figure it out so quickly? Hehe, I wanted to become a chef, but I just really don't have any talent for cooking. No matter how hard I try it to work on the interior, a restaurant needs to have food. Okay, that was a weird thing going on there. That said, what exactly am I looking for here? Search for where the lamplight and seat are. I mean, can I sit here? Maybe this will do something? Oh, I'm dumb. It's this one right here. It has to be, right? Yeah. Wow. Wow, the treasure appeared once we took a seat at the table with the lit lantern. However, other than Mora, there's just this tattered bag in here. Could this be the memento chosen by the person who... blah blah blah, Paimon can't understand what they are applying. Let's go back and ask Idia, okay? Back so soon? Such skilled treasure hunters. Haha, the first cipher was too easy. We knew where to go immediately. But what was with the memento inside the chest? It seems like it's from a person who gets hungry easily and stands outside restaurants enticed by the smell of food. The memento is their snack bag, right? You're not completely wrong, but not totally right either. The traveler who left this first chest was a disciplined warrior. When I saw him in the desert, he was covered in wounds, great and small. It was clear he'd survived a bitter struggle. A tired, hungry person would obviously be drawn to the smell of a restaurant. It makes sense such circumstances would inspire written words, even a few lines of poetry. Whoa, that's actually really different from what we thought. Why was he fighting in the desert? If I speak too much and add my own interpretations, it will color your perceptions and won't experience their story as they wanted it told. Blah. The memento still has his notes. Take some time to read them if you're curious. Okay, fine. In that case, Aether, you read it when you have the time, and then tell Paimon the important bits. Let's move on. I want to share the cipher for the next treasure trove. A shooting star of vines carries me, traversing a forest so quiet and peaceful, to finally arrive in secluded dreamland so pure. What do you think? This one will keep you guessing. Activate all those smarts of yours and find the second treasure trove. Will it show up on the map? The cipher mentions vines being undisturbed and a dream. Paimon doesn't really understand these things, but blah blah blah. There's also another keyword, shooting star, if there's an analogy, it has something to do with the choo-choo cart. So, choo-choo cart, all the way over there, right? I'll worry about that in a second. Let's look at the item that I just got, though. Note in a tattered bag. To the traveler who discovers this treasure, if you are reading this text now, you must have become one of Miss Adia's most esteemed guests. The bag you find within the treasure chest is an old ration bag of mine. It accompanied me over mountains and hills across vast, empty deserts, sustaining me for several decades. Please allow me to use it to pay you a warrior's tribute, as well as to give you my best wishes. I was once an ordinary mercenary who chose to live and fight in solitude. My reason for becoming a sellsword was simple. I wished to exact revenge on the bandits that terrorized the land. When I was still very young, my family's caravan fell to a bandit attack. My parents, who rode at the head of the caravan, never returned. I started treading this path to eradicate violence and greed. Swearing to eliminate the bandits to the last man, I set out to eliminate all the suffering they would cause, or could cause. My methods were so extreme that even other mercenary groups could not understand my doings. All things were as they should be. Eventually, one day, there would be no bandits, or there would be no me. But in a twist of fate, one day I happened to track a group of bandits to their stronghold. An easy task, considering my experience. But this time I recognized someone among this group of bandits. Many years ago, I had once saved a youth who had lost his parents to the bandits. Though I believed that he'd come to despise the bandits even more than me, I somehow found him in cahoots with them. His hair unkempt and his face filled with relief at being recognized, he knelt before me and begged for mercy, recounting all the horrors he'd seen. And even as I stood there, shocked and flabbergasted, he had stabbed me with a weapon. Wow. Before melting away into a quiet night. Had Miss Adia not rescued me, I'd have perhaps become yet another dried skeleton in the sands. Was there any meaning to the life I had led? Why would a victim of banditry go into embrace their way of life? Deep within the Mirage, a youth shared their story against the flickering fire, their eyebrows knitted in a frown and their eyes full of tears. The lack of dignity, the agony of exile, the loneliness of living all on one's own. Had I not harbored a burning hatred or inherited a small amount of family wealth, I would have likely become just like them. If the lids won't work, why don't we try our luck with the bottom? Miss Adia's words as she struggled in vain to open a can finally allowed me to piece my thoughts together. There are some evils in the world that can only be treated by removing their root causes. I know better than anyone the experiences that would drive someone to become a bandit. If I wish to stop them from going astray, I could begin by doing what I can to improve their circumstances. I reckon it'll be a different kind of struggle from beating someone in a fight. It's far less direct, far more difficult, and requires far more thinking. But I believe it'll also benefit those in need far more. Anyway, all that I have to say is I won't need this warrior warrior's ration bag anymore. I will leave it here as a testament to my determination to set off on my new journey. Nice.
Every journey has its final.
That's funny. So we gotta go over to the second location. It's not too far from here. Let's teleport here and jump over there. So it's something over here. Hey, we found something. Maybe we haven't activated this choo-choo cart before. Or we haven't activated, rather. Let's get on and see what happens, Aether. Okay, sure. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that I found this once before, and I was wondering what it was. Because there was nothing there. And I don't think I had seen the choo-choo cart prior to that. Huh. I better pay attention, just in case it wants me to switch tracks. Woo! This choo-choo cart's tracks going all over the place. Is this really compatible with the metaphor? What kind of shooting star would leave such a winding trail? Okay, that wasn't very exciting, was it? Oh! Interesting. So there's this. Let's move that over there. And I'm assuming that I have to interact with this, right? Streaming projector? You know, I'm starting to think that I wasn't supposed to interact with this. I don't think that this is, I think this is something I already did once. Yeah, I already did that one before. Oh wait, no, I haven't. Never mind. I'm glad that I, kept going. I was about to exit. So... Oh. Whoops, I made a big mistake. You have to be patient. Let's leave. Okay, but that was not what I needed to come in here for. That said, there is this right here. I should probably do that. Whatever that's gonna do for me. Did that open up a path right here? Am I wrong? Oh! This is the preprint that I started. And then it went all the way over into this room. Interesting. Very interesting. And these vines here can't be destroyed. Oh, there's the quest marker. Dig? Okay, cool. Hee hee, Paimon's hunches are pretty spot on, huh? They managed to find the second treasure even though it was so well hidden. The memento this time is an ordinary box. There seems to be something inside it, and there's some noise inside. Paimon wonders what will happen if we open it now. Let's go and ask Adia. Interesting. So, where exactly am I on the map? Ah, okay. So, as long as I remember that there's something here, I can come back here later for that. Let's teleport over to where Adia is. Took you longer this time, huh? Guess you're enjoying solving the riddles. Actually, it didn't take us that long this time at all. So, what did you find besides Mora? Just a simple box. Quite unremarkable is the second option I gave. Can we open it? But what if there's a creepy doll that pops out, or fireworks that burst out with a bang? Oh yes, adding surprises to mementos is a great idea. I'll suggest it to other guests too. But in this case, this is a standard box that I provide to guests. The guest that left this behind was quite serious, though, so you can rest assured there are no shenanigans. She was a lost student who woke up one day and found herself in the middle of the desert. She stumbled across the Veluriyam Mirage while searching for landmarks. It seemed like she hadn't finished her schoolwork, so she couldn't stay long. I was flustered too, unable to show her proper hospitality. Even now I feel guilty about it. Luckily, her standards were really low. Just sitting in a quiet place stargazing was enough. Her other request was to have a closed, secluded environment to rest in. So I found that cave for her. Before she left, I also sealed the cave with vines, so that she could sleep there in peace whenever she wished. No wonder the cipher mentioned a dreamland. No one would bother you sleeping in a cave like that. But waking up in a strange place, that sounds familiar. Maybe she was sleeping on a carriage and got thrown off? Perhaps by a grouchy driver. As Adia said, Paimon thinks it would be best to wait until we've cleared our heads. Then we can try tackling the tale of the mysterious student again. There's just one chest left to find now. Come on, Aether, let's finish all the returning curios. If you really can't wait, go ahead and read it without Paimon. You're a fast reader. It should only take you a moment to read a couple of pages. I won't spoil the surprise for you, or let me read it first, I'll tell you everything. Alright, with your storytelling, Paimon will be captivated. Ah, dividing up the work with just a few words is a testament to your great and practiced teamwork. Let's continue the returning curios, shall we? Listen carefully to the third treasure's cipher. A blue, spotless ceiling, a floor of white candy. Soft companions surround me. I too have wings. Ahem, something so simple. Anyone would know where to go immediately. Well, it's easy to see, at least. Reaching it, however, this should be fun to watch. The tone of the third cipher sounds like one a child would use. Let's think. Where could we find blue rooftops? Could this be another analogy? The blue rooftop could be the sky. Yes, Paimon thinks that makes sense. Let's take a look at the highest point of the Veluriyam Mirage. Oh, okay. So let's read this. A letter with lovely handwriting. Oh, traveler whom I've never met. If you're reading this letter now, you must be enjoying the wondrous sights of this place, just as I did in the past. May you encounter the sights of your dreams, and learn much from the experience. I am a Ratawahist student who fell asleep while observing the skies. After finding myself here upon waking up, I decided to stay a while. The caretaker, Miss Adia, appears to be struggling with the need to repair some old mechanism on the grounds. She did not respond to my questions, but simply offered me a quiet place to stay, where I might get plenty of rest. Nevertheless, from the way others talk about her, I could tell that she is usually a generous host. It was understandable that she would not have the time to take care of me, while being pulled in several different directions. I was unable to get an answer from her even as I packed up and left. She did, however, give me many gifts, and invite me to try out this attraction. Which is to say, I'm also quite new to this place, and don't have a lot of insights to share. I can only wish you a fun and relaxing experience. You may get a slightly different experience if you were to observe the stars from here. Though the position of the stars have not changed, their impression on the sky appears far stronger, and it's much easier to make note of their characteristics. Maybe the special location and my good mood both have something to do with it. After all, our vision is far wider here, and the air here is also less dry and more pure than regular air in the desert. Most importantly, this place is insulated from monsters and people of ill intent. If you ever have some free time, I'd strongly recommend that you spend some time here to observe the stars. The traditions say that I should leave something here as a testament to my stay, but I don't know what I can leave you as a gift. I only brought some books, pen and paper with me when I came here, and I'll need all of them to write my thesis. Among the gifts that Miss Adia gave me was a sum of mora, which she recommends I use to purchase furniture, believing it would add warmth, beauty, and comfort to my abode. However, my place has already been filled to the brim with books and star charts. There's no more space for more furnishings, and either way, were I to cross the desert again, to return to the academia, I doubt I could make the journey if I brought any more with me. These gifts will be better left to travelers that will come after me, and thus I waited for an auspicious day with wondrous omens before hiding them. Now these gifts are all yours. I hope they will bring you serenity and joy, and pass on to you the protection and fortune of the starry skies. Okay, cool. So, let me see where I need to go for the third and final treasure. All the way over there, okay. So is this it? Over there, it looks like we got 3 water droplets wandering around. Did we scare them? They broke off suddenly. A sock buddy. Maybe that's a water droplet? That puts us on the right track then. Let's follow it. Okay. So, there's this one right here. And what are you doing? Oh, you're going all the way up, huh? Sure thing. So that one is now down by that, right? Oh. Why are you running all over the place, dude? So, is it just going to keep leading me around in circles, or does it want me to do the projector again? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Why are you telling me to jump off, dude? I don't know how to feel about this. Please go back to the original spot. Okay, there's one of them. I'll teleport back up to the top because I don't know if it's... Yeah, it'll be faster to teleport back up. Okay, the next one is back here on that little island there. I wonder if there's anything on this little island because I've never actually been to it. Water droplet turned into some special things. Maybe we need to restore their original form before they can do something. So, obviously, I gotta pop the water things, or whatever these are. Are they water and Nemo? I don't know what they are. Anyways, please go back to the original spot. That one was a lot easier to take care of, wasn't it? And the final one is all the way down there, in a spot that I've never been to before, at least as far as I remember. I've got to deal with the enemies first.
Think you can get away? Let's play. Here we go.
So, there we go.
Allow me. Whirling snow.
Please go back to the original spot. And now I can return to where that thing was. We were right. The water droplets do something. Okay, never mind. Special cutscene is occurring, and that's all that matters. Whoa, that's so high and so far away. Let's go up higher, and we should be able to reach it then. Okay, sure. Easy enough. Just need to zip up to these things, right? And then from there, as long as it lets us do this. Where is the next one? Oh, right there. Okay. This is clearly leading me to this island. And I see the little glowing spot too, or multiple glowing spots. Whoa, we got pretty high up. We might have missed the view here, sure, if we weren't something or other. The valley looks completely different when you look down at it from high above. Amazing. Dig? Oh. Hooray! We found the last treasure. The memento is a blueprint this time? Paimon doesn't remember something. If you think about it, that simple cipher really did pay attention to every key point. Hey there, let's ask Adia about it when we meet her. The glowing mist over there was created by lights of various colors, right? That's so spectacular. And then there's this. Look, we've been to the theater over there before, haven't we? 70 buildings are still visible. Okay. So, obviously, that's all I needed to do up here, right? So, just to make sure there isn't anything beneath this before I, leave. Okay. Dia, we're back. We succeeded big time. All 3 treasures are ours. Oh, that was fast. I knew you were no ordinary person, but I didn't expect it to be this easy. How was your experience? Special? It certainly was high enough up. Great scenery on the way, though. Whoever left that 3rd treasure behind is a child at heart. They used creative metaphors, and their clues were right on the money. Let Paimon guess. Are they some kind of fairy tale author or something? Those aren't metaphors. They're just the real thoughts of a child. The one who left the 3rd treasure behind was actually just a young girl. Wait, a kid? You're joking, right? How did she even get up here? That child overheard her parents talking about a hidden paradise up in the clouds, where all sorts of beautiful creatures like finches and crystal flies live, so she secretly built a big kite, hoping to soar into the clouds and visit her flying friends. I don't know if it was because the wind was ignorant, or if it was intentional, but the kite ended up being carried off course. Instead of soaring up into the paradise in the sky, it landed in the middle of the desert. The child didn't find her finches and crystal flies, but she had a wonderful time playing with the gentle hydro-eidolons, who became her squishy new friends. Whoa, slow down there. You talk so fast that Paimon can hardly keep up. And for a kid to fly all the way on a giant kite, a lot must have happened along the way. You're going too fast, and it seems like we're missing out on a lot of details. Look, I really can't explain the sense of wonder that kids feel during their adventures, so you'll just have to experience it for yourselves. Besides the message from that child, besides the message from the child, there's also a few pages from her diary in the box, and the details are really something. And before we get to that, there's still one thing left to do that is both full of ceremony, but also quite important. Shall we take care of that first? Yes, you're right. We found all the treasures, so now is the time to leave a treasure of our own behind. It's finally time. Let's put our heads together, Aether. Where would be the perfect spot to bury our treasure? We have to think this through carefully. We can't be scattered-brained about it. Someplace high up in the Silver Bottle Courtyard, or let's hide it near a lake. Or how about placing it at the entrance of the Veluriyam Mirage? Yeah, sure. The entrance? You mean we'll put the treasure chest right by the door? That's pretty direct. Interesting. This is the first time someone has suggested a hiding spot like that. But if you did that, won't it be easy for other guests to find the treasure? Let's keep it simple. There's no need to make it too difficult for others. Ah, Paimon gets what you mean. Probably. Because we've struggled really hard to get the treasure chest purposely stuck in hard-to-reach areas, right? You don't want others to suffer like we have. That makes sense. Maybe we'll start a trend. And who knows, someday we'll start finding treasure chests all over the place. Let's go to the entrance of Veluriyam Mirage. Time to head out. Hold on, please. Take this first. This is a special box imbued with the power of the Hydro-Eidolons, which can greatly extend the storage time of mementos and prevent them from deteriorating over time. And as for the memento you choose, you can keep it a secret from me if you want. Awesome, this really helps. With a fantastic container like this, we can store fresh things like fresh fruit and herbs and yummy food for a long time. But if we don't tell everything to you, Dia, will you still be able to pass along the cipher to other guests? It's all about mystery and surprise. Hehe, the treasure you leave behind will become the crown jewel of the Returning Curious project. Every bit as impressive as the original Mora pocket watch. I can't wait to see what kind of guest will find your treasure, and how they'll react to your memento. Will I be able to tell at a glance that this keepsake was left by you? I'm getting so excited. Adia has given us so many surprises, now it's our turn to return the favor. Oh, Paimon understands now. Then we need to choose a really special memento to make sure that Adia can understand what we're trying to say with just a glance. And then Adia should write us a letter and tell us the good news. Very well then, it is settled. I wonder what we're going to leave behind. Journal with juvenile handwriting. Hey there, youngster, or grown-up, or oldie, or whoever you are. I see you found my treasure and read my diary. I'm an inventor and adventurer. Even Miss Adia thinks I'm a genius, you know? This fantastic water park is the furthest place I've reached so far. I've had a great time here. How about you? It's okay if you haven't been having fun. I'm sure you'll be just like me and find even more cool and distant parks to explore in the future. According to Mama and Papa's story, there's a paradise for finches and crystal flies on top of a cloud. I made this kite to find that paradise and play with them. But when I used the kite to fly, I couldn't find that paradise. Maybe it's because I wasn't flying high enough. But that's fine. I landed in the desert and made friends with a super cool, super huge red bird, and even rode a long way back on the back of a huge creature with many legs. I think they call them scorpions or something. Oh, and also I met Miss Adia, who managed to convince the big red bird and the big scorpions to turn around and go back to sleep. And after that, she took me to this water park where the flying balls of water were even more magical than the crystal flies. They gave me tasty apples, assisted me in my search for construction materials, helped me build a new kite, and even took me on to new adventures in mysterious places so I can see the scenery from super duper high up. Miss Adia said that if I were to become a super famous adventurer someday, then this place must be my first stop, the start of my journey. So I drew the first super kite that I invented in my diary. Well, the blueprint of the thing anyway. Who knows, maybe you'll also be able to visit many unexpected new places and meet many new friends after making and using it. Oh, and also, before you use it, please make sure to tie a knot of balloons to your body. This is important if you don't want to get hurt when you crash onto the ground. Anyway, all the best of luck. May you fly even higher than I did with this kite. You find many sketches at the end of the diary. This must be the kite that the diary writer was referring to. While the handwriting is messy, the sketch is quite neat. The featured design is well-shaped, has an effective weight-bearing, skeletal structure, and many safety features. It is apparent that only a highly educated child could have produced such a high-level design. Maybe the diary writer is a child of scholarly parents, and has been interested in engineering since early childhood. Unfortunately, as it has been designed by a child, that kite can only be used by a child, is too small, and unlike a glider, cannot support the weight of an adult for an extended amount of time. Maybe it could become a perfect toy for Paimon, if you were to dedicate a lot of time into actually building it, using the blueprint as a reference, that is. The process will probably be quite painstaking for the inexperienced. And here we are. Paimon thinks this is a perfect. Guess this is our returning curious treasure site. Investigate. Oh, what's going on? Why is there another memento hidden here? Oh, Mora shaped. Did we dig up someone else's treasure? But Idia hasn't told us the cipher. Wait, hold on. Could this be... It's a legendary Mora pocket watch. Huh, cool. Okay, let's bury the treasure here. It's finally time. Paimon is getting a bit worked up. So, what do you want to leave behind, Aether? How about a photo of the two of us? What if we leave a weapon behind? Or let's leave a sweet flower as our treasure? A photo of the two of us, sure. Huh? You mean take a picture with the camera? It's just a picture. Would anyone really care about that? Pictures may not be rare, but the important thing is we're in it. We're both pretty big deals. That's true. We've already accomplished some really amazing things, and it wouldn't be exaggerating to say that we're living legends. Let Paimon picture how excited those guests will be when they find our photo. Maybe they'll scream with joy and excitement, or they'll be confused. Who are these two? Well, it'll be okay even if someone who doesn't know anything about famous adventures find it. They can take our photo to the nearest town and ask around. Someone will set them straight in no time. After all, we're already famous, and getting more so by the day. Hehe. Anyway, taking a selfie is a great idea. Let's go with it. You set up the camera, find a good angle, take a bunch of photos with Paimon, then you pick out the best one together. Hey, this one looks great. This reminds Paimon. We should take more photos together in the future, so we'll have even more treasured memories. Maybe one day, when we're running low on Mora, we can choose some pictures, make a photo album, and sell it for a pretty penny. Together with Paimon, you choose a memento and place it inside the storage box that Idia provided. As you are writing your message, you have a deep discussion with Paimon about what to include in your addition to your brief description of your memento and why it is special. Your experiences in the Veluriyam Mirage were so rich and colorful that you didn't know which one to choose. Even the sights and sounds inside the Veluriyam Mirage are spectacular. Ultimately, you settled on a blessing for companionship and happiness without worry. To the traveler who finds this chest, may your travels be filled with joy and free of care, and your companions always be by your side. Enjoy your time vacationing within the Veluriyam Mirage. Mission complete. The ultimate treasure of returning curios has been buried. Whew. It's a strange feeling, planting the seeds of a story for the future instead of uncovering something left behind by an unknown predecessor. Hopefully we'll see those seeds sprout soon. They'll definitely bear fruit. Hehe, now we just have to wait for Idia's response. Okay, cool. No side quests added, so let's go ahead and look at what we just got, that pocket watch. Mora shaped and Mora shiny, Pocket watch you accidentally found in the Veluriyam Mirage. This one bears a strong resemblance to a Mora pocket watch left behind by a seasoned adventurer in the earliest days of returning curios. One wonders how much it is worth. However, Dia also says that it's not about the value of the treasure or the watch, but the stories inside the treasures. Perhaps using monetary value as a measure of this memento is not the most fitting. Let's read it. There seems to be a message written on the paper. The font has a flourish to it, and the humor penetrates through the back of the paper. Haha, darn it. You managed to find the Mora pocket watch I hid so expertly. Well done, bravo. I tip my hat to you. Though someone as obviously talented and skilled as you must have noticed that this pocket watch is made in the shape of Mora, with a thin coat of Mora-colored paint. By market standards, it's barely worth anything. Right now, I'm sure your mood has shifted pretty drastically, and you can't help but think, the treasure that started the whole returning curios is just a piece of junk like this? And he even wanted people to imitate him? That adventurer who left the pocket watch is nothing but a giant fraud. But don't be angry yet. Allow me to explain briefly. The only reason why Mora has become the standard, unquestioned currency of choice, the Mora that circulates across the world, is because behind it stands the great and powerful, without compare, the upholder of contracts, the fair and wise, well, allow me to omit the next 5,000 words of praise for Morax, and say that it is his credit standing behind Mora that infuses it with value. Without his credit, it's just a round piece of metal. And behind this pocket watch is my own journey over mountains and rivers, searching tirelessly, millions upon millions of steps taken in pursuit of the greatest treasure of the desert. Dozens of novels would not be enough to tell my tale in full, so I left behind this pocket watch that accompanied me through my entire journey, from when I was yet small. It's definitely not because this is all I have left on me. Perhaps one day I shall become a renowned adventurer, and my fame will spread across to that. Then my reputation will stand behind this watch as well, and you definitely won't feel like you've been burned. Of course, perhaps you understand all this long ago, blah blah blah, and you're even stronger than I am. Perhaps you're already a big deal, but even then, my logic holds. This pocket watch will be the most ancient memento you found in the mysterious Veluriyam Mirage, and you will have given it greater value. So when you read this message from me bearing the pocket watch, it won't matter if we're separated by decades or centuries. Blah. Let us work hard and become the best we can be, and then we can spread my understanding of what creates value across to that, allowing everyone to live to the fullest. Signed, an adventurer doesn't actually have much of a reputation. The signature is really, really fancy. Okay. So, yeah, this is actually where I'm going to be stopping. So, in the next video, hopefully, these parts right here will be unlocked. I'm pretty sure that I'll wait until they're unlocked before I record the next video. In the meantime, I might go ahead and try to get the prizes that I didn't get off camera for the first two challenges, and if that works out, then I'll probably try the same strategy for the next three, but we'll see how that works. So, anyways, yeah. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.